Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
For the simple reason that nobody can make a single living cell. Of course, the cell is the thing of life, isn't it? So, they call it the God component or something like that. But we can create a human being to make it look like a replica of a human being, Benedict Cumberbatch or anybody else. But we cannot actually create the cell that gives life. You can ask the brainiest people, past or present, they simply cannot do that. Whether they will ever be able to come up with a form of life, I mean, I think I've read in fairly recent times that they feel they're getting close to creating a sort of artificial cell which could start to think for itself. And we know there's artificial intelligence. Now, we don't know how that will develop in years to come, but at the moment they cannot make a single living cell, the cells that make us what we are. And therefore, it's incredible to think. I mean, quite an interesting study that was done in Cambridge in 2013. But when you think that all of the chemicals that are needed and are within us, you can find really in a pile of dirt. You could pick up a scoop of dirt from a garden or from a flower box, and you've likely got all of the chemicals that you've got in a human body, which is quite an incredible thing, because when you think about it, the only special thing about that handful of dirt is that it makes us. These components actually make us, the stuff of life, albeit without that magic of the single cell, and that is the miracle of life. So throughout our lives, we live within. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. We live within this wobble of flesh.
Yeah.
No, I could have put that a bit better, couldn't I? Hear people saying you talk for yourself, mate. But yeah, not this wobble of flesh. But I should have said we live within these supermodel and Adonis type bodies, without ever really needing to ask, why is this happening? We take so much for granted.
We do.
And some time ago, I remember thinking, I sometimes read in the newspaper or wherever else that somebody's had an accident or an injury and they've had their spleen removed. And I used to think, well, what does the spleen do? Where is it? And I just didn't know. So I remember some time ago now looking it up. Any idea what the spleen does at all? Any idea?
Is that what cleans the blood? Is that what it does?
Yeah, it's good. You're not too far away there. It filters. It stores blood and it filters blood. And I've never really researched this more, but the fact is people do have their spleen removed if they have an accident. I mean, it's situated, I think, in the rib cage on the left side, just above the stomach. So if you have a certain injury or an accident, you can have it removed. But I don't know how the body then makes up or compensates for that loss of that organ. But that's the spleen. So you had a good opinion on that one. How many times a day, a waking day, do you think we blink?
Probably in the thousands. So I'd say 50,000 upwards.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a reasonable guess, even though it's completely wrong. But it's one of those, not being disrespectful there, it's one of those questions, isn't it, where, and as I say, when I thought about some of this, I thought, how many times do we blink? And I didn't know. And I thought, if someone said that to me, like I've just said it to you, it's one of those questions you think, I could come across as a complete idiot here, because it could be, 5,000, it could be 50,000. I mean, it's a bit like, digressing here, I don't know why, but it's a bit like if a woman ever asks you, how old am I? It's lethal, isn't it? And I think any bloke will know you never, ever risk answering that question, because you could you could, you could end up in hospital, presumably. So I think the best way out of that is, if a woman asks me that, I tend to think, well, I'm going to faint on the floor, and all that kerfuffle is a great distraction, and they forget they've asked the question. So don't ever answer that question, guys. Whatever you do, don't answer if a woman ever says that. But I've completely digressed. But yeah, it's a difficult one, the blinking. In fact, apparently it's 14,000 in your daily waking hours. It doesn't seem enough to me, but who's going to count it? And 14,000 a day. And apparently it also says that that means your eyes are closed during every waking day for 23 minutes. Now, again, to be honest, I saw that figure in a book somewhere, and I still find that hard to believe. That
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.